one specific frequency to affect the way we behave. It's true. One specific subliminal frequency.
I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion and glory, and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed.
Stats about single parent households, America against the rest of the world, okay? In America, 23% of kids that are raised, they're raised by a single parent. The world average is 7.3%. India and China are 4 and 3%. We're at 23%, 3 times the world average. 5, 6 times, 7 times China and India. And we're sitting here saying, well, you know, it's leave them alone. Let people do whatever they want to do. No, it's not working. Yeah.
I don't think men were more masculine back then than they are now.
Men worldwide were more masculine because we didn't have feminism. But see, the problem is black women, your mother's generation and your grandmother's generation, they really failed you guys because they told you you didn't need a man. Who raised these feminine, weak black men that you have a problem with? Who raised them? Who raised them? 80% of black children are born out of wedlock. Who raised them? Who?
We did.
Who's we?
My mom or whoever my grandparents did.
Black who?
Women.
Thank you. That's who raised them. You raised the very men you have a problem with. Black men are 51% childless, 64% in the middle class. And the problem keeps being that, well, the black men back there were stronger. Back then we had more of the law on our side, and we actually had more of a community. What happened, if you want the truth, was when the Great Society came in and black women were given a choice between government assistance and your men, black women chose government assistance. As black male unemployment went down, black female welfare enrollment went up.
I feel, me personally, especially for our people, I feel like that comes from the man's upbringing. I gotta laugh. I gotta laugh when I say this because, you know, the females get so mad. But we are in a fucking crisis, a pandemic with this single mother and shit. And it's crazy because you could literally Google it. Just like, so, and let me back up. In my spare time, I read a lot of boring shit. I like social science and I like to read Harvard studies and just different studies where they do statistics and polls on us as a people, just all different types of backgrounds and people. And it is a proven fact. And if you don't know what a fact is, look it up. But it is a proven fact that single mother households produce the worst product.
Facts.
It's
a
100%
fact. Yeah.
If you take 2-parent households, single father household, single mother household, statistically based on facts.
Yep, you're right.
The household with the woman heading it by herself produces the worst product. And for our people, for black people, for African American people, those single mother households are the reason why prisons are filled with a good majority of our
You are 100%
people,
right.
So these are facts. You sit this on the table. Here go the facts. And then you say, so y'all need to start valuing men being involved in the lives of your children. I can't make you be with your baby daddy, or we can't say that somebody has to stay with somebody, because we know that children are being born out of situations where the two people aren't healthy together.
Yeah.
But that you having access to a man and a woman during your upbringing needs to be brought back.
The problem I see happening is with the children of such mothers, especially the men of such mothers, they go on to have very, very abusive relationships. So men who grow up with single moms who blocked access, they end up with women who are very abusive. Either they're unfaithful, or they financially abuse them, or they're just, they're physically abusive. They grow up with they end up selecting very abusive women. And from my observation and from what I'm reading, it looks like what happens is when you've been deprived of a father and you've only heard mum's side of the story, what happens is they put their mum on a pedestal. They think women are the innocent victims of harsh men. So what will happen is they're prey to women that need saving. They always gravitate towards women that they can save and help and nurture and say, oh yeah, that man was terrible, I've got you, I'm going to help you, I'm going to show you what life looks like, because I've been doing that to mum my whole life. The problem with those women is they are broken beyond you. You can't fix them. Most women can't be saved. They haven't something broken that they need to fix themselves. But the man that thinks he can save her is the one that's a little bit more delusional, and he gets his self-esteem from seeing her now love him. So unfortunately, he ends up going for very broken women that end up re-abusing him, and he ends up not having those boundaries that he needs with women. So they end up in very poor relationships when they've been raised by a mother that blocks access to fathers.
You often hear about the reverse, about women who look for the guy that's broken, but I can fix him and I can hold on. Why do you think that happens?
Men who grow up with single mothers who they see struggling will subconsciously grow up to reject men and overcompensate by taking care of broken women and neglecting their own needs. He is subconsciously trying to fix women in the way he feels his father failed his mother. Instead, he ends up attracting women who are highly codependent with an inability to love him back in the way he gives or needs.
I grew up in an atmosphere where I realized that having a single mom, no man around, was the norm. But as I grew up, I also started to understand a lot of the children from those environments did not do well. They didn't do well in life, they didn't do well in relationships, they didn't do well in parenting. They just didn't do well because they couldn't function, because they didn't see the dynamic of two people trying to make something happen. Because if you think about it, in a single parent household, the person who's the single parent is a dictator. If they just don't want you to learn math, you won't learn math. One of the greatest movies I love that addresses this is The Waterboy. The Waterboy had a single mom who decided to be lord over his life and wouldn't let him learn anything. But the whole part was, well, we got rid of the father and we don't need the father. And there's too many places out there where people say they don't need the father. One of the most important things a woman can do is pick the correct person to have the kid with.
72% of the black community in the Western world are raised by single mothers.
Right.
So a lot of these boys are being raised by women. And I find, you know what I was talking about on the last podcast, how a lot of this generation a little bit soft. It's because they're around female energy, bro. It's because they're being raised by females and they're constantly around feminine energy. They don't know how to control their emotions. They are quick to emotion. But I think a lot of these young generation are feminine, bro. Like, they're being raised by that female energy, and so they don't know how to control their emotion. Like, you could look, what are you looking at, bro? I just looked at you. Does it really deserve that reaction? Like, is it really that deep because someone looked at you, or someone stepped on your foot, or someone barged you accidentally? No one's out to just disrespect you. Like, if I was to walk past you on the street and I accidentally barged you, I'd be like, oh, sorry, bruv. But if you're like, bruv, what you doing? Bro, chill. It's not even that deep. Why are you so quick to emotion?
Especially a boy. I came from a household where it was just a mom. I had my grandfather and I had my pops, but there was no man in the household. I started arguing with females once I started to go through things. It got physical orders. You know why? Because I was an emotional boy. I didn't have nobody in the household to say, okay, look, this is not how you go about it. Go to the gym. I had to learn this from YouTube. Read books. Hold on, let me finish. I had to read books. Go on YouTube. Do these different avenues I had to learn. Yes, grandpa telling me certain things, pops telling me certain things. But when you have a man in a household, the chances of that boy that's becoming a man to grow up emotional, 80% of the people that's in jail came from single household mothers. Meaning this, if I'm in a club and a nigga step on my sneakers, yo, bro, what's up, bro? What you doing? Now guess what? Somebody died, somebody go to jail. You know why? Because that boy wasn't raised in a household with men. That's the problem in society, because Females with the mindset that I don't need a man. That's the reason why we have females in this generation that's having kids that I don't need a man. Now they growing up without fathers. Now y'all raising emotionalized boys. You're raising especially a
mama being told how to be a single, independent mama by her mama. Yeah. Her mama don't got no man. And then you got 2, 3, 4, 5 young teen boys being raised by them. It's like, how long are we gonna keep pretending like this shit makes sense when you don't understand that there was an agenda to make it where welfare programs actually solicited and was lustful looking to women as long as they kept the men away. When you don't understand this, you will think that as a single mother, I made the decision to raise my children by myself. No, you didn't. It was programmed. And your mama was programmed.
Women that are teaching their sons to be son husbands. Right? And a lot of women don't even know this. There's a fine line between where women have the boy as their son and then they start treating them like their husband. So when they don't have a man, they depend on that boy to do this, to do that. He's you know, her entertainment. He's around her 90% of the time.
There's a Freudian concept which is called the devouring mother, in which she's all consuming. She consumes the children's ability to be independent. And so it's robbed while they're growing until they reach a point in life where they're totally dependent on their mother. And so we see that regularly, you know, coming through our doors oftentimes with these frustrated, young adults who have never really been afforded an opportunity to be independent and to make their own ways.
I'm a single parent. I had to work. This kid would pick up his 2 little sisters, make sure that they eat, make sure that their homework was done. If I had to stay late, he'd make sure they took a bath and put them to sleep. And then he changed.
I'm tired. I'm depressed. I'm tired.
And now you expect your grown son to be the husband, pick the kids up from school and put them to bed and feed them. See, this is the problem I have with single motherhood. Y'all love to sit around and appoint your children as the father of the rest of your children. You made them children. And if you can't find a man, if you can't find somebody to marry you, you just on your own. You ladies who have all these fatherless kids running around and you appoint this child to take care of this child. And if they did not have a father because you failed to find a husband before you had that boy or girl, it is all on you. You failed your child.
Single mother households are bad for us as people. They are terrible for our children. They are fucking up the adults that you guys are trying to date because they come from a single mother-headed household. And the things that y'all want these people to have an understanding for, mamas, it's not teaching them that. Because women, we are by nature in our motherfucking feelings. 24 motherfucking 7. We parent based on ego and emotions alone. A lot of these children are lacking like the common sense part of being raised. Y'all don't understand. And I get it. It's whooping y'all. It's tearing y'all ass up. I get it. I get it. I get it. Ma'am, listen. And this is why I'm making the video that I'm making. So she said, let's give her a little bit of clout. She said, if you don't stop streaming from cars, old Derek Jackson ass woman, right? Now, I don't know how she can relate me to Derek Jackson, a man that cheated on his wife. I have no understanding about how that relates to me. But when y'all trigger, y'all say delusional shit like that makes no sense. Why are you mad? Because I'm stating facts about what the fuck is going on with our community and relating me to somebody that has nothing to do with my content, has nothing to do with me. Y'all slow. And it shows that y'all slow. The difference between me and your baby daddy is I ain't scared of y'all, bitch. I'm gonna state the truth.
Men now, and like you said, you learned from what your mom didn't do, and I learned from my mom didn't do and what she did do as well. So it's like now I feel like a lot of the times a lot of men don't do that inward check and go all the way back to see where this shit's stemming from. Because I feel like to salute a problem, you gotta get to the root of the problem. A lot of people want to talk about who they are now, so you might think a lot of shit, abandonment issues might start because your girl wasn't there, but it really go all the way back to
your
our moms. You know what I'm saying? And as men, a lot of us are being raised by our moms. So when we look at these young boys in this new generation and they're reacting emotionally, or they don't have no conflict resolution, or they want shit they way, and they, you know what I mean, they used to being coddled, and they think that they don't have no responsibilities. It's not that our moms had bad intent with it. It's actually that they had good intent and they was doing the best they could to raise us. But the counter effect of it is the niggas that we see going on right now, and how they not, you know, fully developed.
Men get custody because the court system favors them.
No, but okay.
And I'll tell you what, men are punished for being traditional in this country. They are. Because the way the court system, and see this, I'm gonna talk about this because I know things. Because the way the code is written, it's basically the person that spends the most time with the child. Well, if a man wants to protect and provide for his family, who does that punish? The guy for doing the right thing.
But the children spend more time with the mothers. Sometimes men are not as involved.
Correct, correct. But it's because
children that want to go with them.
It's because they're at work, though. What's in the best interest of the child? When you look at single father homes, they fare very similar to two-parent households. When you look at single mother homes, they become criminals. I didn't know that. Yep. They become criminals, drug dealers, school shooters. Every really problem that you can look at in society comes from single mother homes. Single father homes, not the same.
What we got going on here? Okay, great footwork. I see you, baby girl. Oh!
I keep telling black women that to raise a child, they say, well, I provided with food, clothing, and shelter. That's not raising a child, that's maintaining one. To raise a child, you need a parental coalition of a man and a woman. We have sons who, by not having a father in the home, they don't know how to respect women. They take on the black female emotionalism. They're doubtful, they're indecisive, they can't make a decision. They don't know what to do about being a man because we can't teach them that. We don't have that knowledge. We have daughters who grow up in a home where they don't see any affection, where there's no man there. They go out into the world and try to mate. They don't have no idea how to be no woman to no man, how to function in a house with a man, because they haven't seen it. Most of our children, just like us, get all the information we have about how you be with a mate off television. It's the only medium that shows us anybody being together. Those rules have not worked for us. The white woman's liberation movement, we don't have anything to do with that. We have not been under the control of the black man for over 500 years, so what do we have to get liberated from them from?